And welcome back. This is your man Warrior, and this is going to be the Worth It series. Now, before I go into it, this is the 2-year anniversary of this game. Pretty exciting. They went ahead and sent some rewards. Now, they wanted to have incremental rewards based on how much time you've invested into the game as a source of appreciation. So if we go into the inbox, I've been here for a couple of years, so I'm going to get all of the rewards. But at level 20, you are going to get... There are so many in here. This reward, the 15 Omegas, is for anybody who hit level 70 or above. Very cool, 15 Omegas. Let's go ahead and collect that. Man, so much. Double drops. We don't need to know about that right now. Another gift was the 3 Chewbacca shards. That's specific for only level 85 plus. That's kind of an inside joke. You'll know why you're getting that because you've been playing for long enough to understand the whole funny story behind Chewie shards. Colonel Stark is now officially farmable. They have some time-saving improvements we discussed in a previous video. And location drops for Veteran Smuggler and Han are available. And this is talking about updated stores and shipments. And then this right here is for anybody who's hit level 60 and above, which you can do in about 4 months. So anyone with 4 months of investment got 500,000 credits and a Mark III cuff and carbonti. Pretty awesome. Also, this one right here is for people who just started level 20 and above. That means you've got probably less than a week in the game, and they still gave Mark III ability mats and 200k. Excellent. There's also the Night Sister, Mother Talzin, and Chromium packs. Don't want to go there. And updated territory battle name. And then this last one, 20 Zeta. That is enough to do 1 full Zeta ability for the Zeta pieces. This is for anybody who has hit level 80 and above, and you can do that pretty easily in 6 months. So anyone who's been in the game for 6 months or longer, approximately, has gotten an entire Zeta setup. This is really amazing, super exciting, very generous. I really appreciate all of the credits, all the Mark III ability materials, the Carbonti, the Stun Cuff, the Omega pieces, the Zetas, and even the Chewie shards. So this whole video is going to be in the store. It's the Worth It series, and I've done my analysis, and I wanted to go through all of these items. There are 3 tabs in the store. There are data cards, there are resources, and there are crystals. And there are things in each tab we need to discuss, okay? So the first is, we're going to work in reverse, is crystals. The first thing you notice if you've ever bought crystals is there's pretty much never a deal on crystals. It is what it is. If you're buying crystals, you pay this amount. This is the assigned value. This is what you pay. Anytime they do a 25% bonus, if you are a spender in the game and you buy these packs, this is the time to buy these packs. This is the only time really to buy these packs. This is the opportunity for you to get the very best possible deal. These are one-time purchases, means on your phone, once you purchase this, the 25% will go away, and this will then be all you see on your phone. So one-time purchases, but you can purchase each one of these if you're a large dolphin this month, or a whale, or even a kraken. You'll be able to purchase every one of those at least once to get all that additional 25%. This is, like I said, a once or twice a year thing, so this is definitely the time that you want to buy the crystals. In resources, they now have a new ability material mega pack that's been reworked. It's only available for basically 6 days, and it's 1,700 crystals. That's a hearty chunk of money. What you're going to get is 9 to 25 Omegas, 20 to 50 Mark IIIs. Now, we have to assume the lowest drop rate, and you can only buy this once a day for 6 days. So you have to consider what you're getting for what you're paying. For those crystals, that's equivalent to basically paying 188 crystals per Omega if you get the minimum of 9 Omega. Now, I'm not factoring in the Mark IIIs. I'm going to say they're a bonus. You're basically going to get 20 bonus Mark III ability mats, and you'll get 9 of the Omegas. If Worst case scenario, you purchase this pack and only get your 9 and 20, and we don't consider the Mark IIIs in the equation. You're paying 188 crystals per Omega. Now, I know that sounds high. However, for anybody who is Omega deficient, you all know that if you're going to do refreshes on Omega battles, the first refresh is 200 crystals, the second refresh is 400 crystals. And I know many Dolphins and Whales and above who use that first 200 crystal refresh to get that single extra Omega. With that said, this pack is, in my opinion, worth it if you can afford to get these, and if you're starving for the Omegas. Again, I would consider the Mark IIIs a bonus, and if you get more than the 9 and 20, this is a great deal. Right now, it's skimming by as a good enough deal for Dolphins and Whales and above, but for anybody else, I would just stay away from this particular pack. But for anybody like myself, I will probably take advantage of this pack every single day because I need the infusion of Mark IIIs and Omegas for my dark side team. And of course, I do spend some money in the game, so that is why I will be getting this pack. So that pack I said was worth it. The crystals I say was worth it. Now we're going to get into the data cards. All right, we're going to work from the left to the right. We're going to go through all of these data cards. I'm going to break it down so you can figure out which ones. Now, this is my first tip. There is so much that has dropped. There is so much potential money spent on all of these packs that you are going to have to stop, take a step back, and figure out first, what, if any, is your budget for this game for this month or for next month. These packs all have a time limit. Some of them have 40 days, some of them have 2 weeks. So you're going to have to pay attention to how long the pack is here and what your budget is. I'm going to give you a general rule of thumb to start off with if you're in a hurry, and that is if a pack is asking for actual money like $64.99 or $14.99, it is worth it in my opinion, and I'll go into why. And if it is asking for crystals, general rule of thumb is it's not worth it. But we're going to go through it because there are some exceptions to the rules for all of that. So the first thing we're going to go over is this TIE Reaper progression pack. Now what's really cool about this is there's actually 3 steps to this pack. The first pack, you're going to get basically 15 shards. That's 5 shards more than likely of your TIE Reaper, which you can see I'm farming. So I'm very excited about this pack. Also Shore Trooper and Death Trooper. By the way, Death Trooper and Shore Trooper are both hard to farm characters. Death Trooper being very high in Cantina and Shore Trooper being on a very hard node. And then the TIE Reaper being on the same hard node that the Shore Trooper is on. So for anyone who is slow farming this is definitely a good progression. The first pack, and you can only buy it once, will more than likely net you 5 of the TIE Reaper, but you can get 5 to 330. Realistically, you'll get 5 to 7, and you'll get 10 to 330 of either the Death Trooper or the Shore Trooper. So one or the other. And so you're basically guaranteed, we have to go off of what's guaranteed only, you're guaranteed 15. Now, with those 15 hard to farm shards, with the amount you're paying, the 1100 crystals, that works out to 73 crystals a shard. As everyone knows, a premium shard in this game goes for 80. So currently, the worst case scenario on this pack is 7 crystals better than the current premium rate. So the worst case scenario is still, in my opinion, worth it if you've got the crystals and this is your focus. You have to be focused on specifically this ship and these pilots, otherwise it wouldn't be worth it. However, as we take a step to step 2, you're now guaranteed 17 pieces, and that's going to come down from 73 crystals a shard to 64 per shard, and that is an even better deal for premium characters, and you're getting even more of these characters. And then in the step 3, which is kind of cool, it steps it up. You're guaranteed at least 20 shards, 5 of the TIE Reaper, and 15 minimum of one of those characters. And this pack you can purchase up to 5 total times complete, and then it's gone. So this particular pack is worth 55 crystals per shard, which is from premium pricing of 80 all the way down to a base every crystal or every shard is worth at least 50 crystals in this game. Even the junk characters have a 50 crystal per shard valuation. So from 73 a shard to 64 to 55, this pack, no matter how you slice it, if you're focused on these characters and if you have these crystals, is worth it all day, every day. That does, in fact, break my generalized rule of thumb. Now let's go ahead and go into all the rest of the packs. The Imperial Retaliation bundle. This particular bundle is very unique because you have to understand the value of each of these high-end pieces of gear. You also have to know how much $65 gets you in crystals. Now, first things first, there are a lot of people out there that when they watch this are going to say, what? This thing doesn't cost me 65 American dollars. It costs me 95 American dollars. So I am speaking only to what I know and what I can see. You will have to make the determination for yourself. But for me, the $65 essentially equates to around 8,800 crystals. 8,800 crystals will get me out of 65 bucks. That's what I get. When I look at this pack, the first thing I see is a Mark V fully crafted stun gun. That's worth over 2,500 crystals by itself. This Mark VI stun gun is exceptionally hard to build with two pieces worth 1,400 and another worth almost 2,500. We're talking about well over 4,000 in crystals on that. This Mark VII, there's 3 of these Merson shield generators, not one, but if you look at the value, 3 of them. And of course, a Mark IX Blast Tech weapon mod. This is worth 1,250 crystals in and of itself. And so when you're talking about 6 pieces of high-end gear, all of them worth between 1,250 and over 4,000 crystals. Currently, that without anything else included is easily worth over 12,000 crystals. Plus, there's Omegas that is easily worth another 1,200 crystals, and you get the character shards that if you have the character will go into shard shop currency, and if you don't have these characters will boost 2 characters that are considered required for the dark side territory battles. So for the $65 you would get 8,800 crystals. This pack is easily worth well in excess of 13,000 crystals. So if you are looking to accelerate these 2 characters, and if you have money and are willing to spend money in this game, this is definitely a pack that is worth it. I'm going to sound like a bit of a broken record today because unfortunately, or fortunately, however you look at it, they have been listening and they have definitely tweaked everything in the game to give a greater value. I know that a lot of people will still say, well, I'm free to play and I don't spend any money. If you're like that, continue to play freely without spending a dime. The game is very generous in that sense that you don't have to spend money. This particular pack is for Director Krennic. It would cost you 15 American dollars for us in this particular pack. That's what it costs me anyway. That would equate to about 2,000 crystals. And if we took everything in this pack and called it a bonus, and we only divide up the 2,000 crystals you would get by the 50 shards of Director Krennic you get, it would equal 40 crystals a shard. 40, that's it. That is lower than a normal character and half what a premium character would cost per shard. This all day, every day with nothing but Director Krennic shards would be worth it if you're going for Director Krennic and you're trying to get him. Now, if you have Director Krennic pretty high or he's not a character you're focused on, then this would be a complete pass and skip it and it wouldn't be worth it. But if you're looking for Director Krennic specifically because you don't have him maxed out and you have the $15, then this pack all day for the value piece of it would be worth it. This is the new Imperial Command Bundle, and this has Colonel Stark, and of course in this bundle they're going to give you all of this ability mats and these pieces. This is very similar to Director Krennic's purchase, but instead of 50 shards, it's 40 shards, but instead of 15, it's only $9.99. Now, warning, this character, Stark, unlocks at 80 shards. Now, he's going to be farmable, so you will be able to farm him up immediately. However, purchasing this pack for the $9.99 will not unlock him. Just warning, he is also going to be another required character. So he's one of those characters that if you're interested in having him for dark side territory battles, this pack for the amount for what you get for the $9.99 is worth it. But you can freely farm him completely free to play without spending $1. So the Krennic pack you could probably pass, this Imperial command bundle you could probably pass, but as far as whether it's actually worth the money invested for the crystal value, it's definitely worth it. The next is going to be his Imperial command pack, and this particular pack is, because it's for crystals, going to fall into my general rule of thumb, not worth it. And the reason is you're going to likely get 5 for 1,300 crystals. That's way too premium, especially for a character that is immediately free to play. The only person out there that would look at this pack and buy it up, because there is no minimums, you can buy this as many times as you want, or no maximums, would be somebody who defines themselves as a very large whale or kraken. That would be the only person that would end up buying these packs. Just like Stark, this is going to be the same suggestion. The Imperial Reconnaissance Bundle is not going to unlock this character. This character unlocks at 80 shards, and you are only going to get 40, and this particular character is going to be a little harder to get, a little slower to get. So if you were going to invest in this character, you might have to buy some of those $12.99 packs, and that would cause you to have to spend almost another potential $100 to get him to unlock with those packs if you don't have good drops. So for this pack, I would say really only for those whales and uber whales would I purchase this Imperial Reconnaissance Bundle. But as far as an actual crystal value for $10, getting 40 shards of any character is definitely worth it. And just like the Stark pack for $12.99 that comes with probably roughly 5 shards, I would definitively say this pack is definitely not worth it. The only person, again, who would buy into this pack is somebody who wants the Imperial Reconnaissance droid or the Imperial droid and is going to be purchasing more than likely that $9.99 pack, and then is going to want to max this character out pretty quickly. So your big whales and your krakens are going to be investing in this. Everybody else can just go ahead and bypass this pack. The last two are the Faction Mega Pack and the Faction Pack for Empire, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you that basically these two packs are not worth it. They're both for crystals, and so they fall into my crystal rule of thumb that if they're for crystals, they're not worth it. And the reason is, there's two reasons. One, you get 1 shard for every 56 crystals that you invest approximately. For this one, it's 1 for every 70 crystals. So you're paying nearly premium pricing, yet it's random to what you get. Random in the amount and random in the character. Now, the unlikelihood is that the individual buying this that spends it one time, it's unlikely you're going to get the Shore Trooper or Krennic. There's a really good chance you'll get 10 of Magma Trooper. And what makes you most unhappy is spending 700 of your hard-earned crystals all to get a free-to-play farmable character at a premium price that you could have farmed for free. So with that, this faction pack at 70 crystals per shard is absolutely not worth it. The slightly better value, which it says best value, is the Faction Mega Pack. And with this one, you're going to get those 10 to 330, and then you're guaranteed those 2 guaranteed characters, Veers or Snowtrooper. Both of them are going to be needed for dark side territory battles. You are limited to 5 purchases a day, and you're going to get at least one of those characters, Veers or Snowtrooper. With this, again, your shard amount for how much you're spending is really low, and the worst part about this pack is it's randomized. The only value of the randomization is they do guarantee at least one of Veers or Snowtrooper, but both are free to play farmable, and almost all these characters on this board that are pretty easy to access, with the exception of a couple. Shore Trooper is really difficult to farm, and so is Director Krennic, and even Death Trooper is kind of hard at the high level. So with that said, this pack, for the amount of crystal investment, is just too few a return for it to be considered a value. So with that said, the Empire Faction Mega Pack, I would say, is not worth it. The Faction Pack for Empire, I would say, is not worth it. The Imperial Reconnaissance Pack, I would say, is not worth it. The Imperial Reconnaissance Bundle, I would say, is worth it only if you're going to go in on that character or you have the $10, but it is worth it as far as the crystal value of investment. The Imperial Command Pack for Colonel Stark, I would say, is not worth it. The Imperial Command Bundle, I would say, is worth it for anybody who has the $9.99 to invest. Director Krennic's Advanced Weapons Research Bundle, I would say, is worth it if you have the $14.99 and need Director Krennic. And the Imperial Retaliation Bundle for $65 for the gear alone is worth it all day if you, in fact, have the money to spend in the game. And the last, TIE Reaper Progression Pack, it is the only one for crystals that I would recommend. You can only buy it 7 total times. It is a decent crystal to shard value. It's better than premium pricing. And for someone trying to get the TIE Reaper and on a very slow farm, such as myself, it will definitely speed up progression on that particular one. So crystals are worth it. The resource bundle of the new ability mats are worth it. And almost all of these data card packs are worth it except for the crystal ones for the most part. I hope this helps guide you and direct you. Remember, do not feel any pressure. There is so much now to purchase and spend money on. Be very careful to not overspend. Set a budget. Make sure you don't go over it. And make sure you keep your gaming on. Warrior out.